obviously this year we have a lot of new guys. I think it's 22 newcomers or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, I believe so.
So it's a lot of new guys. Wanted to get into that a little bit and just kind of give you a little sneak peek into the young guys. I mean, we have so much talent coming in, so many promising arms, so many promising bats. Obviously, with headlined by Cam Smith, Jordan Taylor, those guys are obviously really strong pitchers or strong hitters, and then we got Jamie Arnold and Davion Hickson, just to name a few. And want to get into that. So JC, kind of what's your thoughts on all those guys, and what do you think about them impacting the game coming forward?
I've been really impressed. As long as I'm being honest, I've been really impressed on how they handle their business. I mean, what they do on the field is speaks for itself.
No
But
doubt.
just how they handle themselves in the locker room, how they go about their business. I think they're really a mature freshman class than at least I was being my freshman year.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree.
And they handle their business the right way. They get their stuff done. They're very open to learning things. They're not stubborn in a way where they don't want to hear from maybe from an older guy. And I've been really impressed. Obviously guys like Cam, being next to him a lot, and he's my throwing partner. He's taught me some things honestly, and his routine and how he goes about his business, and he's actually taught me things. And being as a young guy, seeing how mature he is, and how disciplined he is, it's motivating. And a lot of guys on the team, like you said, guys like him and Diamas, they're really close. So being able to hang out with them and just picking their brain and see what's in their mindset and how they go about their stuff, it's motivating. And I think it's been really impressive, man, how they've done it, and what they do on the field. I think speaks for itself.
No
I think they're gonna have a big impact for us right away. I think they're ready for it. I think they can handle it. The lights come on, and I think these guys are gamers, and they're gonna step up to the challenge, and they're gonna open some people's eyes. I think sooner than maybe people expected, and even guys who maybe aren't as talked about as much as other guys. I think they're gonna make an impact, and
No doubt.
they're gonna step up to the challenge, and they're gonna do what it takes to be a winning team. And like I said, they're just really open, willing to learn, willing to do whatever it takes. I feel like to help this team win. So I'm very intrigued to see how they do, and I'm excited for them. I'm sure they're all excited to get going, play their first college season. The one thing I will tell you guys is enjoy it, man, because it goes by quick, man. I'm on my third year now. I felt like yesterday I was a freshman in your shoes, and learning from the older guys and learning how they do how they go about their business and their experiences. So now I'm very excited to be on the field with those guys, and I think it's gonna be fun, and they're gonna have a lot of fun, and they're gonna love this place as much as I think we do.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think up and down the list is just so much talent. Those guys are very well prepared. They do things the right way. They're extremely, polished for what you would expect out of a freshman. So super excited for them. I think there's going to be a couple names in there that y'all haven't necessarily gotten a lot about, but I think there's going to be some guys that really make an impact.
Absolutely.
And I won't name them just because I want to. I can't wait for
Yeah.
them to kind of make that
Make
impact on
make
their own.
name for
So
themselves. Exactly.
it's going to be a super good group of guys, and I think there's going to be a lot of freshmen that make a huge impact this year. So super excited for them and all that they have. So but obviously don't want to talk too much about them. But let's keep going.
Yeah.
So man, so obviously pitchers are obviously going to be a big part of our year. What do you think? Who's your guys that have really made an impact on you this spring? And obviously we see them every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm
you
tired of seeing
scrimmage.
those guys.
No, man, I'm so tired of seeing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. There's nobody more ready to see a different pitcher than us. I think we've gotten the majority of the at bats against Wyatt and Monty and J-Bomb and
Yeah.
Connor Whitaker and Jamie Arnold or Ben Barrett. Those guys have been phenomenal and just so much to be impressed about. So I would say the strength of our team is going to be those guys coming out every day, and you're going to know what you're going to get. You're going to get consistency, and you're going to get a bunch of guys that know what they're doing. So
To touch on what you're saying, like there's a lot of guys that I feel like could be impactful that are either young or older, and I believe Link said it not so long ago on our meeting or our dinner the other day. I think we lost about 300 plus innings of our
We
returning
did.
arms. So there's a lot of guys who haven't maybe had as much experience in this, level yet as probably maybe they want to or as we'd like them to have. But I think that's not gonna change anything. I think they're gonna still come out and do their thing. And like you said, they've been really good. And I'm tired of facing them. I want to see them, strike somebody else out on the other
Yes.
side and not, talk back and forth from media.
Yep.
So
Yep. Me as well. I think I'm tired of coming in the locker room and thinking about my IB and then looking across the room and seeing them after they just
yeah,
struck me out or something like
yeah,
that. And
no, I agree.
man, they're talented arms, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see a bunch of them go pretty early in the draft. So
Absolutely.
super excited, super thankful to have them on our side of the field for sure, and can't wait. I mean, Friday cannot get here soon enough.
Yeah.
So obviously it's something we've worked really hard for, and those guys have done just about as much as anybody in the country, and so I think they're going to be super successful this year.
I think the biggest thing too with them is that there's so much competition in this pitching staff, and everyone's of course fighting for their role and fighting for what's going to help the team the best. And I think it's just been really nice to see like all those guys learn from each other, and you don't see it where it's like it's almost like everyone's uplifting, and I'm really like to see that as a player, especially as a shortstop, where you're talking to the pitcher a lot, and you're seeing these guys just really try to help each other, and try to be the best they can be, and not really take it personal or worry about their egos and stuff like that. It's just kind of like really nice to see those guys all want the best for each other, and whatever their roles are, I think they made very clear that they're ready to go for it.
Yep.
Whether it's the Friday night or it's the closer or it's the setup guy. I mean, I think they're open to really much anything that's going to help this team to be the best that we can be, and that's really nice to see as a player. And I appreciate that, guys, more than and if you guys are listening or you guys join in, I really do appreciate that, and I think that's going to go a long way. They may not realize it in that moment, but it's good for them, and it's going to only make them better, I feel like.
No doubt. I mean, they're a strong group of guys. All of them, from top to bottom, are super solid. And they know what they're doing. And, man, I'll tell you what, they've come a long way since the fall. And even the spring, they've come a long way. So it's been fun to kind of be a part of that and see that maturation process and see those guys kind of step up and figure out that, whatever it is, starter, closer, somewhere in between, just I'm going out there to compete. So I'm super excited for that. And I think everybody's done a good job of doing what they need to do to be successful this spring. And I think from the pitching side, it's going to be better than most people think. And I think from the hitting side, it's going to be
absolutely.
I think the hitting side as well, it's just going to be a bunch of guys. I know we lost 5 starters, something like that last year.
Yeah.
I think we got 4 returners, something like that. Me, you, Jaime, Colton. Is that it? I think that's it. So we got a lot of open spots in the infield and the outfield as well, and a lot of new guys, some returners, some transfers that are all going to make an impact. So I think it's going to be a super good group of guys, and the spring practices have been super, super competitive, and a lot of guys have had really good at bats, a lot of surprises, a lot of guys that have stepped up. And from the hitting side, I mean, man, there's so many spots to make an impact, whether it's coming off the bench, DH, first base, outfield, second base. Like there's so many open spots. So I think there's a lot of good guys that are going to be have an opportunity to play this year.
Absolutely.
So from top to bottom,
that's all you can ask for. It's an opportunity to do what you do and showcase yourself. And I think everyone's been on the same page, man. I feel like there hasn't been no anything in the locker room. I feel like where you feel our teammates maybe not feeling the same right way or whatever it is.
A little feisty.
Exactly.
There's been none of
that. I feel like everyone's just been uplifting and motivating and trying to get each other better, and that goes a long way, and that's what's going to make a championship team and get us to where we want to go, as you see in the background, Omaha. Not just get there, but of course win it, and seeing that, and even like the new guys, guys like McGuire, Holbrook, Jordan Williams, who are older guys who've taken on, I feel like, leadership roles, and even though they're new, they've helped the younger guys, and even though they're everyone of course is fighting for a certain role on the team, but it hasn't been feisty at all between the locker room. It's always been uplifting, and I think it's awesome to see. Our catcher depth is really
unbelievable,
deep, and it's obviously there's only one catcher that can catch in the game. So I think it's been good though to see those guys work and help each other out, and I think it's awesome.
All right, so just to continue, wanted to obviously touch on the lineup. We got a good group of guys. Obviously, up and down the lineup, there's going to be a lot of really good arms. And on the hitting side, there's going to be a lot of good guys in the lineup. A lot of very talented individuals from freshmen all the way up to. All right, so obviously, we got guys like Nander to say this coming back, which has been super cool. For me at least, I committed right before 2019 and their Omaha trip, which was super fun to watch, and obviously watching him and seeing him here was super cool, and to have him back has been super awesome for everybody. I think everybody's enjoyed him being here, and I think it's been super cool to kind of learn from him and see how he works every day. So I think it's been super fun, at least for me.
I couldn't agree more with that. I mean, since Nanner's been here, it's been awesome. The day we met, I think it was the second day he was here. We've been almost like best friends ever since. And I've known him for a month, but I feel like I've known him for 5 years. And I hang out with him a lot outside the field. And he's just been a really good leader in the sense of the older guy that who is one of our few older guys that we have that has a lot of experience, that's played here longer than I think anybody has. He's actually, fun fact, played for all three coaches.
In the last 45 years.
Yeah. So that's it's pretty interesting to say. But he's been great, man. He's been awesome to have back, and I think the fans are just as excited to see him on the field as we are.
No doubt.
But let's go into opening day. It's Friday. 4 days away now.
Man, how excited are you?
I mean, I think there's no words really that can tell how excited I am. But it's going to be awesome. I mean, I think Friday night's going to be sold out. Absolutely.
I think it is. I think all weekend is sold out.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone's excited to see us, excited to see Link, of course. See him and what he has to bring and the change that he has. I think we've all got a kind of a taste of it, but we haven't got into it fully yet. So I think we're all excited to just get going. The fans are, we are. I mean, there's a lot of talks about us around the town, and I think we're all just ready to get that started and get that rolling.